Okay, the Foundation Portfolio Presentation, Group 106, and this is the last group, Group E.
Our thrill is called mimeograph because it's the process of forcing ink through a stencil onto paper, so it's like a tattoo basically. Our USP is going to be replication of like real life serial killers.
Our main character is a forensic photographer. She has a sister called Beth who died brutally, suddenly. She always felt second best to her sister, and then all the bodies keep turning up, and our main character is on the verge of psychological collapse.
Our equilibrium is that she works during the day and kills people at night using ideas from serial killers that she studied at work. Basically, she kills people that, or preferably girls that are non-brunette, dyes her hair brown and writes Survivor on their wrist, and that's because Beth, her sister's called Beth, and she had a tattoo of Survivor hidden on her hip. She dyes her hair brown, so it's like she's repetitively killing her sister over and over again. And we chose Survivor because it's ironic, because they haven't survived because they're dead. She keeps her secret obsession to herself and nobody suspects her. And she killed her sister out of jealousy. Victims have similar features to Beth as if she's the theme, as we said before. And there will be a love interest who will be a fellow police officer.
Our disruption is that Frankie is going to leave behind a clue that has something to do with Beth. It could be on purpose or just for like excitement and adrenaline. But her clue actually leads her colleagues closer to figuring out that the person killing all these people is actually her. New evidence about Beth's death is going to be revealed because her body was never actually discovered. This leads Frankie to become really paranoid, and so she leaves for a few days, just disappears, which makes her co-workers even more suspicious because the killings stop when she leaves.
And our new equilibrium, Frankie is eventually found out, and there'll be a scene in the film of her arrest. The scene will jump to 10 years later when Frankie's in prison, and there will be newspaper clippings about her and Beth and the victims that are involved. Our overall structure will be first making a non-linear narrative.
Props that we're going to use, we're going to have, I've got a digital SLR so we can use it around her for Frankie when she's at work and stuff. Fake blood, and I've got scar wax as well, so I can do all the special effects makeup and stuff if we are going to include it. We're not too sure at the moment for our opening title sequence. Clipboards, and we'll probably print out pictures of me because I'm not going to be in the film because I'm a cameraman, to make it Beth and print them off, and tattoos on victims and stuff. Costumes would be like lab coats, we'll probably make a police badge. Cut up clothing that we don't wear anymore, and we'll cover it in fake blood and stuff for victims.
We're going to write Survivor on the victims because that was Beth's tattoo. We're not exactly sure why though, but it's just what she had. And she's hidden it because obviously she was quite young, so her parents wouldn't have known. And by writing it on her victims, it's really ironic. So it's quite funny.
For settings, we're going to use an old office. Jade, your mum works in the school, and they know the caretakers, so hopefully we could always ask if we can use one of the classrooms or one of the science labs. If not, we can use the LRC office. We asked them, but if that doesn't work, we're still unsure. Probably a forest as well, with the killing scenes and stuff. And for the jail cell, my house is being upgraded at the moment, so we have a spare room with just a bed in, and it's all like got a great room, so we can always just adapt to that and use that for our jail cell. Frankie's inspiration we would love to serial killers that she's studies at work, as you already know. We also use Dexter, which is a famous TV series, which is basically where we got most of our ideas from. We're not copying it completely, but he's a blood splatter analysis, and he kills only serial killers, and no one's supposed to think. And also Disturbia, which is a remake of a Hitchcock film called Rear Window, which is basically about a man who's also a serial killer, but no one really suspects anything apart from someone who's been arrested, and he's like keeping an eye on him. But yeah.
Do you want me to do this? For our opening title sequence, we're going to focus on certain features such as just like hands and sort of the lab and like pictures of Beth and Frankie together, and sort of like newspaper articles on Beth's death. So we're not going to actually show the faces to give it away, so it'll be close-ups.
For marketing, we're doing, because it's quite a low budget, we're going to do things on like social media, so like Facebook, Twitter, that type of thing, because it's free. Possibly do like a small advert on radio. We're going to put a trailer on YouTube because it's really popular, and it means that our target audience, which is teens from like 15 plus, will be able to view it, which means they can share it with all their friends.
And just to summarise, our main character is a forensic photographer for the Brighton Police Department, and she's also a serial killer, and nobody suspects really until the end, and then she's found out.
Questions?
Did you say that Beth, they didn't know that Beth had died?
They knew she died, but they just haven't found
I
her.
didn't know what
They don't know she's dead, but she's gone missing, but only Frankie knows that she's dead.
Oh.
But we'll show that in the opening title sequence, but other people don't know.
So she is dead, the sister.
Yeah.
So what's the reason for leaving that sort of open for the audience?
It's like if people knew that Beth, like certain things about Beth's death, they'd link it back to Frankie. So by leaving it open, we leave like a mystery to what Frankie's had to deal with in her life.
So it's not really central to your storyline, really, but it's a MacGuffin, really.
Obviously, it relates because it's like Frankie recreates her death, but because no one else knows that she's actually dead, it's not. They don't link it back to
And
her.
that's sort of why she's become a serial killer in a way, because of her and her sister. Like
So it's the
relationship.
reason for her kind of
Yeah,
schizophrenia, but
she obviously didn't like her sister, and she wants.
it's not the main driving force behind the storyline. What I'm interested. You said it's going to be a non-linear narrative. I wasn't sure why it was non-linear.
Because we're sort of going. We're like.
It's like flashbacks, like in V's and Kevin, like it doesn't flash forward and flash back. We're just, well, yeah, it does kind of. We're still a bit unsure that it will be non-linear, so it just creates that tension and it will confuse the audience, but then it all comes together at the end.
And when you talked about your equilibrium at the beginning, you were suggesting that she is the serial killer. Is that just telling it in the presentation, or you're not revealing that to the audience
No.
straight away?
No.
No, not revealing
No,
straight
not
away,
revealing
just
that.
trying.
We'll just leave like clues that will link to her, obviously, to push the story on.
So that's because you said in your opening title sequence you're going to have a scene where there's just people's hands, and so there's not going to be any revealing of a character.
No.
It's all going to be sort of hidden. Okay, setting
So
that
you
scene.
won't actually know until.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Group E.